Hi. There's a pretty significant change happening to my life, and it's starting now, and it has to do with trading. Trading has been a big part of my life ever since one of my friends in high school introduced me to crypto in around 2016. So, around here, pretty early on. And to that friend, if you're watching this, you know who you are, and I hope you're doing well. So, I spent a lot of time observing charts and news and trying to identify patterns and come up with explanations to these charts. And I then had a practical reason to learn programming. And I didn't see myself as someone who would be interested in programming or to pursue that type of career. I was more interested in hardware. But I ended up writing scripts to say, notify me if a cryptocurrency changed by X% in Y amount of minutes. And I learned how to scrape websites, I learned how to use APIs, and that led to me seeking to fully automate trading. And so I developed different trading strategies and figured out how to express them in code. I spent a lot of time on this, and I was just diving head on into these programming projects without any like formal education on this at the time when I was in high school and when I just started college. Um, I didn't know how to write clean code or any like good programming practices, really. I was just completely new to it, but I just had certain behavior in mind that I wanted, and I just wrote code to follow it. And actually, behind me is some code from 2016, and it's awful. It's really bad, but it shows how far I've come. This code was for a trading bot for Bittrex, which is a now defunct cryptocurrency exchange. You'd usually transfer Bitcoin there to trade some altcoins. But yeah, it's something that I would work on between classes while in university, and eventually I would present it as a project during an interview that I had, and it helped me get my foot in the door in the tech industry as a software engineer. And I learned the importance of testing my strategies, and I eventually wrote my own backtesting engine and fully autonomous bots whose models would adapt on a regular basis and store the trade information and account statistics in a database. And that then led to me learning front end and back end web development to develop a web app to manage and monitor the bots. And then that led to me learning how to set up continuous integration and deployment pipelines. So I then got into writing bots for trading forex and stocks, and I learned the different intricacies and specifics of those types of markets. And uh, I was also starting to realize that high frequency trading is difficult to pull off considering all the sort of hidden costs that you normally don't realize when you're just looking at, say, candlestick data or even tick data, like financing fees or the spread, which is a pretty big cost, especially for HFT. And so I've gained a lot of technical knowledge through trading, and I was willing to dedicate so much time to it because I had this idea that I would eventually develop a stable passive income source. But markets are so chaotic, and it's difficult to define rules and try to find something consistent out of these very chaotic, unpredictable markets. You might see some patterns here and there, but do those patterns remain? a lot of the times they don't. And uh, I've held on to this idea for a long time that I would figure something out. And really, I've still yet to find anything that works as consistently as I'd like. And it's been hard to find anything that beats just buying and holding. And lately, I've been spending way more time than usual developing strategies and backtesting them. And I just find that it's hard to find anything promising, and it's been so draining. And at this point, I feel like I'm almost out of ideas, and I've been working on this for so long. I've actually been feeling like really depressed lately because I haven't been able to figure something out. Uh, because this was supposed to be my way out, and I've always had this idea that I could make this work. This would be my way to retire early and be reimbursed for all the time that I've put into this, and to not be stuck in the system and have to, you know, keep working until I'm old. And especially right now, like I've been feeling kind of trapped because my job really stresses me out, and I also know that due to how competitive the tech industry is right now, I know I'm going to have a hard time finding anything else, and I can't afford to lose the stability that my job provides. It took me 8 months to find this job, actually, and yeah, just lately, honestly, I've been like questioning if I want to continue living like this, like without a hope that things will get better. And I'll probably still question this, but I did realize some things. I've been spending way more time on this than a lot of people have, and I've put a lot aside for it. I've put aside, honestly, I've put aside family, friends, and my own happiness to just work on this nonstop a lot of the times. And I realize shut I've shut a lot of people out when doing this, and I've been kind of neglectful of myself too when I'm in these sorts of periods where I'm just spending dedicating a whole lot of time on this. And it's paid off in the form of technical knowledge, but I'm realizing that it's not really healthy for me to continue like pushing myself like this. And it's hard for me to accept it, but it's very difficult to be investing long term, and I still honestly haven't figured it out after 9 years. And I don't regret getting into trading because, as I mentioned, it sparked my interests for programming, and it motivated me to get involved in all sorts of projects spanning over all sorts of different technologies. But I think it's time for me to kind of move on from this dream of a passive income source and the frustration of not achieving it. So, going forward, I intend to just invest and not actively trade. So, I'm done trading. Now, if you are interested in algorithmic trading, uh, I have some advice based on my experiences. So, I'd say one of the most important ones is to backtest your strategies. And whether you're using a pre-made solution or you've developed your own backtesting engine like I did, you want to be really sure that there aren't assumptions being made that skew the results in a positive way. Make sure you're accounting for the spread, make sure you're accounting for the financing fees and any other fees that are associated with a trade to the best of your ability. Um, Also, I found that hard coded values and magic numbers a lot of times just doesn't work. Uh, you're just going to be overfitting a lot of the times. Like I'm talking about, for example, like always setting your take profit or stop loss to X%. Like, a lot of times it just leads to overfitting. And I would say explore making your own indicators, come up with your own indicators. And I've tried many different technical indicators, and I ended up coming with my own contrarian and momentum-based indicators to varying degrees of success. And when you have direct access to the exchange's historical data, then you can play around with the data and see if you can come up with any unique indicators, and you might be surprised with what you come up with. And I would say uh, version control and issue tracking as you're doing your development. For me, I had all my repositories on uh, as private repositories on Bitbucket with Jira integration. And so I was using Jira, and even though all these projects I was working on completely by myself, it was helpful for me to write issues to keep track of the work that I've done or need to do. How did I resolve this issue in the past? Oh, well, I made a ticket for it, so let me just check and see what I did that led up to the resolution of that ticket. And, of course, I'm not affiliated with these exchanges, but uh, Alpaca Markets is a stock brokerage that has an API with paper trading. Their free data is pretty limited, but you can find ways to get SIP data. There's ways that you can get it for free. And you'll have to look around, but it's possible. And Oanda for forex trading also has a paper trading environment, and it's pretty good. So hopefully that was interesting or insightful. This video is mostly for me to kind of maybe look back on in a couple years. And but hopefully this will maybe resonate with someone who's had similar experiences. But yeah, that's it for now. So thanks for watching.